If I told you that one of the best found footage horror films in recent years was entirely free on YouTube right now, and is amazingly adapted from one of the internet's earliest viral horror stories, would it change your plans for the night? Welcome back to Night Mind, friends. I've got an awesome experience for you tonight, and I've been waiting to talk about it for a little while. Thankful to finally get the chance. Tell me, have you ever heard of Ted the Caver, or Ted's Caving Page, written by Ted Hedgeman? This is before creepypasta. We're talking 2001 on a web hosting service called Angelfire, and it's still up. Welcome to the page of Ted, the opening text greets, with notice about an update on May 19th, 2001, and an image to click from inside of a cave. The website altogether is just like this, starting with the first page after clicking from March 23rd of 2001. Text, images. It's a story. Just some guy, Ted, a caver, relaying his adventure exploring a cave system with an exciting feature. Unexplored territory, just beyond a small hole that can be opened up with the right amount of tools. His setup is honest and direct. Due to the overwhelming number of requests I have received to tell about my discoveries and bizarre experiences in a cave not far from my home, I have created this webpage. I will outline the events that happened to me during the past few months, beginning with my journey into a familiar cave in December 2000 and ending, well, it hasn't actually ended yet. I will use my caving journal as the text to tell about my recent experience. I will give them to you as I experience them, in chronological order. I have included photographs that were taken during my many trips into the cave. I've also created a few illustrations to help the reader get a better idea of what things looked like in the cave. All of the photos were taken by me, or one of the people I went into the cave with. Ted informs readers he won't be giving any identifying information about the cave, and will refer to it simply as Mystery Cave. Likewise, anyone who figures into the tale will not be referenced by true name. On the next page, the discovery, we see the true start of the caving journal, December 30th, 2000, with a contextual note. Gray text is taken directly from the caving journal. Italicized blue text is Ted reflecting on his experience. B and I decided to get in one more caving trip before the new year, so we set our sights on Mystery Cave. Not a spectacular cave, but since neither of us had been caving in a while, it would be nice to go to any cave. There was a bit of excitement to this trip. There was a small passage in the lower portion of the cave that I wanted to check out to see if it was possible to get past it. It had a small opening, but lots of air blowing out of it. Even though it is way too small to climb through, I had never even checked to see what was inside the passage. We got our gear loaded up and hit the road by 3 p.m. We got to the cave in great time, since B likes to drive fast. We anchored from the usual tree and began to rappel into the cave. I went down first and got my gear together while B came down. I will refer to B many times. We've been caving together for many months now. He was injured in a caving accident a few years ago and was told he would never walk again. Through hard work and perseverance, he not only walks but can get around very well in caves. The trickier parts of a cave might slow him down a bit, but he can make it. He patiently works through an obstacle until he gets past it. As for the reference to the small opening in the cave, there is a saying among cavers, if it blows, it goes, meaning if a passage has a good flow of air, it is probably worth investigating. All of this information is important, and for those who are used to short story horror writing and quality creepypasta, you'll recognize certain elements to observe and facts to remember. Things that pass by aren't always scenery. Ted provides links to 2 photos, one of the hole leading to the passage in question, showing how small it is, and a rough drawing of how the passage looked after shining a light inside. Ted and B named it Floyd's Tomb, after Floyd Collins, a caver in 1925 who was trapped underground in a narrow passage just like this and died after 14 days. In retrospect, Ted wrote, "It is funny how simple I thought it was going to be. I figured a few hours work and we would be in. Had I known how long it was going to take, I doubt I would have even begun the project. Had I known what I was going to experience in the cave, I never would have returned." From here, Ted chronicles the effort by himself and B of opening the hole just enough to crawl through to the other side. They took several tools in and came up with a routine, often monitoring their body positions to avoid hitting their heads on the cave ceiling. Hours upon hours of work mounted just to make a bit of progress, and from time to time, they would hear wind howling from the other side and a low rumbling, which they chalked up to reverberation from heavy trucks driving high above them. Ted provided a whole page of information on caving and equipment, as well as his past experiences, which deepens the reality of the tale's context and increases trust in him as a narrator. From this point, Ted's journal continues describing the work done opening the entrance to Floyd's tomb, with all the claustrophobia and discoveries that occur along the way. Fueled by intelligent writing on the very early unsuspecting internet, and empowered by all the anxiety-inducing photos, Ted's Caving Journal was one of the first major immersive online horror experiences. It can absolutely be considered early on fiction, striving for entrancement of belief through realistic delivery on a platform not designed for such storytelling, and certainly achieving it. This freaked out a lot of people, and the pictures did a lot of lifting to make that happen, with many online communities wondering whether it was real. More than 23 years later comes Alex Archives, a YouTube channel that took up a unique and difficult challenge, adapting Ted's Caving Journal to a video format.
I think it's on. That should be on. Alright. Cool. Hi. I'm Ted. If some of you know me, you know me. If you don't, that's completely fine. And this is a cave behind me. I cave. Spelunking, cave exploration. This is a really fun hobby of mine. And today I brought a camera with me because I think I found something rather interesting at the bottom of this cave. Or at least I remember I think I did. So we'll find out. But essentially, I brought the camera with to just navigate and date all of this, unexplored territory. Well, the cave is explored, but we'll figure that out later. So yeah, essentially this will act as like little recordings or diaries of what goes on in the caves, which is super exciting. Me and a friend over there. That's the good old. What should I call you? I mean, you said you want to be anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's B, I guess.
Why
yeah.
B?
Because it's the first letter. It's the first letter of your name. Okay. So yeah, B's setting up the rope. Let me just make sure you can see. Oh, did we lose the cave? I think it's there. Yeah, no, it's there. Oh, we're just zoomed in. Okay, I'm still figuring out how the cameras work. That looks like it's in focus. Okay, yes. So, I wanted to show you the cave. What am I doing? Right. So we've got the climbing gear, and essentially, this is the hole. It's in this little cave entrance, and it goes down a lot deeper. So there's a bit of a ledge, and then it goes down to the left, and then down even further. So we're just setting up the rope so we can get down in there. And yeah, it's super exciting actually. Yeah, so let me take you guys back outside. So yeah, that's the cave. Let's get on in and explore a bit. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope this is a fantastic series documenting what we hope is a virgin passage, because that is unmarked territory, and that is super exciting. So let's go check it out. Some of the tight crawl spaces. Oh shit, I don't know if I should match the angle. Some of the tight crawl spaces we do have to go through to get to what we think is the virgin passage. So excited for that. You ready to crawl through here? You got your helmet? I should probably have a helmet on next time.
Yeah.
Okay. Move through. You can switch it off now. Cool. Okay. Well, that's why we wear helmets.
Yeah. That's why I wear a helmet.
But yeah, it's pretty tight spaces. And you can see the roof is like right here, which is not ideal.
Nope.
B's going ahead of me though. There's a bit of a crouch. It's about an hour's trip towards the spot that we want to get to. So just watch ahead, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, so almost there. I think it's been about 40 minutes. Yeah, it's opening up. All right. Cool.
Upwards, landed on my legs.
Ah, I see. Well, at least you didn't fall. Imagine you broke your arm.
Oh shit. I'll go get more rope.
Okay, no worries. I'll set up the lights so we can see better. But we need to hop down here. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. You good? Cool. Alright. Let me set up the torch down here. Cool. Okay. should be on. It's just silent. Dark, you can't see anything. With thousands of rock beneath you, which I think is quite funny. But okay, cool. So yeah, we got to the end. It's about say an hour's worth of a trip here, and then it'll be an hour's worth trip back. So exciting stuff. We did find the hole, which is really cool. We didn't film it because just our lights are about to die, so we just thought we'd do this quickly and then we get out. So yeah, hole's there. We did look in. It's about like 3 meters, I'd estimate, right? Yeah, about 3 meters from the hole to where it widens up. But it is wide enough for someone to fit in, which I think is pretty exciting. And also, what's that saying again?
If it blows, it goes.
Yeah, so if it blows, it goes, meaning if there's good airflow, then that usually means that there's a good sign for a cave system behind it, which is just awesome. I'm super excited. So I think our plan of action then is we're probably going to go and fetch some sledgehammers and drill bits. Those are bad. Some sledgehammers and drill bits, and then also an electric drill if we can get it. I did suggest liquid nitrogen,
But there's no way we're getting that down.
but yeah, there's probably an hour's worth of a trip through some crawling. I don't think we'd be able to get it down. This bats are aggressive. Yeah, so don't think we're gonna get it down, which is unfortunate. Dynamite just won't work.
I'd like to get out alive, please.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so hole's there. We're gonna open it up and just a virgin passage, unexplored territory. I mean, that's exciting. That's so exciting. Dude, it would be so cool. Anyways, yeah, so I think before our batteries die, let's maybe head out of here. We did name the passage as well, actually, which is, I think this is pretty smart. B didn't think, but we called it Floyd's Tomb because it's such a tight squeeze.
I feel like it's kind of morbid.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, it's gonna be really fun. I mean, I think if we can open it up, unexplored territory, that's why we have the camera, so we can document it. Things should be awesome.
The opening video you just witnessed was uploaded on December 30th of 2023, perfectly matching the initial cave exploration journal entry of December 30th, 2000. It's an excellent establishing piece. Average person with their camera who happens to be a caver, looks the part, acts the part, and shows us very directly what we're dealing with, from the difficulty of the entrance to the innards of the cave system, including live bats. It takes so much dedication, effort, and courage to even try this. And as far as picking a cave to use, what a location. The reality of this situation is presented as strongly as you can give it, occupying the majority of the camera time, and rightfully so. With the original story, you had to use your limited knowledge and visualization of caves. But here, the impact of the setting is always present, and some shots really let you know how dangerous and alien this place is. Shots like Ted crouch walking through a passage drive in the point. Once again matching the original site's journal, the next video, Mystery Cave, was uploaded on January 27th.
Hello, it's Ted again. So we're back. It's been about 2 to 3 weeks, I think, since our last trip here to Mystery Cave, and I realized we didn't really tell you guys where this place is, which I think we did for good reason. We don't want you guys, finding this place. Not because we're like selfish or anything, it's just that, I think for everyone's safety, it is a local cave and it is, known in the area, but just for now, while we make this, I think we'll just keep it as Mystery Cave, which I think is a fun name. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a bit on the nose. Okay, yeah, fair, but I mean, what else are we gonna name it? Cave? Anyways, so we also realized that we don't need to take our harnesses in all the way anymore. So we can actually leave these guys here. So yeah, after the abseil down, which takes about 20 minutes, essentially we'll take our harnesses off, leave most of the gear at the front of the cave. And then we brought tools this time. We brought tools to excavate the hole. Let me show you guys what we have actually. Here we go.
Ted proceeds to show what they've brought, but notice the hints of horror storytelling. It's about 20 minutes to get down to where they are, at which point they take off their harnesses and leave them near the job site. These harnesses are needed to get back out, but aren't always on their person. A touch of anxiety for our characters concerning this is generated. There's a new factor too, which you probably heard: running water.
It has been raining a lot in this area recently. This is all water. That is crazy, dude. Seems like one of the crawl spaces may have flooded a bit.
So, if things weren't dangerous and impressive enough, we have underground bodies of water and running water inside the cave system. It's not just dark and hard to traverse, it's wet, so slipping is easier. Drowning is a possibility.
Right. Here we are. As promised. There it is. The hole. Can't see it very well. Can focus it there. Let me take my headlamp off and shine in there. So there, you see? So we shoved a hardened type rope into it. See if we can get more. Yeah, see, it goes further. Camera can't pick it up too well. Hold on, let me put my headlamp on. Alright, so we shoved this in, me and B, to gauge how far it went in. That's why we estimate about 3 meters, just because, well, that's how deep the rope sort of hit. It's very stiffened. And yeah, essentially we're gonna try and get rid of all of this, especially this big one, and then hopefully we can fit through, so that'll be the progress. The rock is pretty thin, and I think I can sort of fit my hand in there, as you can see.
Do you remember the mention of howling noises from the other side of Floyd's tomb? You can hear that wind through the hole, and all throughout the rest of the videos, you become attuned to sound. This moment trains you for it, as well as the periods of silence broken only by the natural soundscape of the cave.
Good over there.
Yeah, it's just an awkward position. Can't get your knees, but you can kind of stand, but you...
Did you hear that? That rumbling mentioned in the original story.
So, essentially, so you can barely see where it is. Okay, cool. So, what I mean by progress is, we're busy hitting with the hammer and chisel as well as just the drill. But what kind of progress we make is, this is about the size of the rock that we chip off, which isn't bad. It's about the size of like a thumbnail, which is nice. But really what's nice is when you break something off like this, which is just a much larger piece, kind of like the size of your palm, which is fantastic. I think this was B's handiwork, which I'll hopefully get a piece like this just now. But yeah, so this is about how slow the progress is.
Even this moment, featuring the palm-sized bit of rock and describing how much they're breaking away, is right in line with the original storytelling. Even the small details from the source material end up in the recording. A very faithful and diligent adaptation that gives you a sense that many notes were taken for each episode's direction and applied as directly as possible.
What, another day or two?
Yeah, I think maybe tomorrow. It is a bit slower than I thought it'd be, like with the chunk pieces that I showed you. But I think it's decent progress, so maybe tomorrow. That'd be exciting.
That would be good.
Yeah, I still don't. I mean, the breeze is nice. Don't get me wrong, the wind blowing, but the rumbling, man, it's confusing me a bit.
Yeah, it's probably the highways or I don't know, an animal or something. We haven't seen bats here, so
Yeah, it could be the trucks.
So the rumbling wasn't ignored. Ted just didn't comment on it during the moment we witnessed. Having a conversation at the end like this, when it's a stronger point of the narrative to make people aware of, is a good choice. The audio may not necessarily be caught by viewers or easily distinguished from harsher tones of wind, and like in the source material, it reflects the character's awareness of what's occurring as they work in the cave. The video that follows, Caving Information, follows its predecessors in reflecting precisely what composed the page on the original site, with Ted filling us in on all manner of caving knowledge, from equipment to formations, and how much of an obstacle course it is to navigate. What does it do for us to learn about all of this, besides the faithful adaptation? Not only does it increase the reality and trust in our narrator in the same way, it highlights the points of necessity regarding the equipment, the dangers of losing any of it, and the severe difficulty of trying to not only make your way through the cave, but to escape if you become injured or lose your light.
When you get to a deeper section of the cave, something I always do is, my friend just found the button. Switch off the lights. Just sit there in pitch darkness. Now you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's a fun exercise. If something were like a wild animal or someone else, something was to approach you in the cave, your eyes wouldn't be able to help you. The only sense that would help is your hearing and feeling, skin. Before you see something approach you, you feel it.
This scene delivers a great sliver of an element felt throughout Ted's caving journal: atmosphere. The feeling of being in Mystery Cave and carving an entrance into Floyd's tomb is ever present. The air of discovery in a place people aren't meant to go. The soundscape mentioned earlier does a lot of work. Moments of silence broken by dripping or running water, the clacking of items on rocks, the wind through the hole, the rare sound of bats on occasion, and the rumbling that you just know isn't a reverberation from traffic. The entire construction of this project is meant to immerse you and hold you in place. You're a caver now too. Totaling 2 hours, 24 minutes, 15 seconds across 10 videos, the found footage adaptation of Ted's Caving Journal is one of the greatest live-action internet horror achievements I've ever witnessed. Everything it took to actually do this and commit to it, adapting the story beat for beat as faithfully as possible, did go in. The cave is real. The equipment is real. It's entirely indie. It's faithfully adapted and with as much realism and believability as possible for acting and recording. Even the hardest elements to reproduce have been reproduced, bringing the story to life in a way its author couldn't have imagined. Uploads even occurred on the dates this year that they happened on the original website. The sheer effort and dedication that it takes to do something like this is way up there. The quality bar you have to reach is known going in, and it's been accomplished for free on YouTube as a finished project. Do you have any idea how rare an event like this is to witness? Nobody manages such a thing. I don't want to spoil any of the rest of this, but things pick up from here in the ways you're looking forward to. And I'll say this: there is tension, there is claustrophobia, there is nyctophobia, there is dread, there is blood, there are nerve-wracking sequences, there is a sense of invading a place that should have been left alone. And it's all found footage style, early internet age. I could make a video at some point studying Ted's Caving Journal in all its elements of effective creation. You really can teach people how to do great live-action indie character with a camera work and horror writing using this project. I very well might do that eventually. But the greatest service I can provide you, this project, and its creators right now is to deliver the point I usually start with, informing you how great this is and letting you go experience it yourselves. The link's in the description, and we've gone through portions of the first 3 videos, so if you want to jump right in to continue in full, pick up from video 4, titled 10-2-2001_WHIP. If my video right now is just giving you backstory and intro to one of the coolest projects in the unfiction world achieved by ordinary people just going for it, I'm overjoyed to do it. I'd rather make sure you've all seen this before getting into any grander thing pouring over the footage out of its initial grounds of effect. The more people who watch this in context, uninterrupted, the better. Make it a movie night, either with yourself, you and a friend, a partner, get in a Discord call with your friend group and put this on, whatever. But do watch it. Really, as far as being deserving of views goes, for the massive achievement that this is and its quality, the highest view count right now is only 36,000 on the first video. That's an injustice to me. Don't leave Alex Archives alone in that cave. Go drive those numbers up, share this with your friends, make this project famous this week. I don't know how this hasn't run like wildfire through the internet horror scene already. It should have. The creator has also just started their new original series too, featuring practical effects, and it just started last week. Alex Archives is one to watch, subscribe to, and yes, there is a Patreon, so also support that for sure. That Patreon has plenty behind the scenes into detailing how it was done too, so if you're curious, you know what to do. It's been a shorter time tonight, I know, and that's because you've got a full movie ahead of you I wanted to make sure you were aware of. It's such a stellar achievement, and I want the views and support over at Alex Archives, especially seeing how quickly the team have moved into a new original series. This is the kind of creator who can make some real juggernauts. They already have made something worth being a juggernaut. I'll tell you though, I am hungry to make a big exploring dissecting topic video again. I want it like a big slap of steak on a plate. I want it at least 40 minutes, like baseline. I think I'm gonna look at what I've got and just enjoy a longer time cooking for our next night together. My appetite is so real right now, and I know it is for you too. So, give me some time. Let's find one we can really sit down with and just kind of tear into and explain some things, move some puzzle pieces around. Study the hell out of it, you know? In the meantime, I've got something that is going to be a meal, just served up in a different way. The night's finally come. Saturday, July 20th, 6:30 p.m. EST, 3:30 p.m. PST on Twitch, I'm back at last. Monstrous, feline, four-eyed, and ready to serve more Nightmind than ever in true horror host fashion. Immediately following the debut showcase, I'm opening Year 10 with a full, live Nightmind video, planting our flag deep in the ground with a dedicated exploration of the completed Unfiction project, Hiding in My Home. It's a cool one Jimmy touched on a few years ago on Inside a Mind, a detailed creator report in my Trailhead research project, and I've been waiting for the right time to dive in, which is now. The completion of 9 years and my true debut is a celebration. I'm bringing out a real big topic. It's a great way to establish proper form on top of getting into my proper form. So even if you're not able to hit it right at 6:30 p.m. EST, we'll be up for hours covering this. Come on by and join us. That's all for tonight, everyone. Thanks to Alex and the team behind Alex Archives for making this awesome film version of Ted's Caving Journal, Ted Hegeman for creating Ted's Caving page and helping establish the foundations of internet horror, everybody supporting Alex Archives on Patreon, helping them make more awesome stuff, all of you for watching, and my supporters on Patreon, who would go caving with me for sure. Right, everybody? You'd all do that, wouldn't you? Well, the monthly support is more beneficial, honestly, and I appreciate it. When do I have time to go caving? I can excuse it in October if it's for footage. Anyhow, you can help support the mission of Nightmind for as little as $2 a month, which keeps me going here and supports the Nightmind Index for new, undiscovered, and emerging projects. It's immensely helpful, I'm immensely grateful, and Patreon supporters get voting rights for topics to explore live. They've already been heard for the first Patreon voting night in July, a little bit after my debut. That's all for tonight, everyone, and do enjoy your time in Mystery Cave. When you're done, if you're craving more internet horror, come back here and check out Morley Grove, Vermis Malum, Dog Nightmares, Chainmail Chasers. I've got a lot of it, so you can keep on going. Thanks for joining me in the dark again this evening. Once more, I'm Nick Nocturne. and like an odd desire to keep going back to a world beneath the ground. You'll be seeing me again real soon. Happy caving and sleep tight.